heard the case from the County Assembly, having given your evidence, what is it that you ask this Honorable House to do for you?
Madam Speaker, humbly I would request this Honorable House, a constitutional house, to see, as we have heard all the allegations that are labeled before me, I'm appearing as third, fourth, fifth party in all these accusations. It is my humble request that as you sit as judges, I'm forced to answer allegations that are done or some issues that are not directly involving the governor of Meru. In these allegations, there is nowhere, Honorable Madam Speaker, that I have signed any document nor delegated anyone to any person via the allegations tabled today before this Honorable Senate. Madam Speaker, today, I don't count it as an unfortunate day for me because at least the whole world have known the truth. I urge this Honorable Senate, honorable members, as you sit today, to consider and give justice. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and that will be the close of our case.
Thank you, Counsel. We now move on to the clarifications by senators, and I request that strictly we adhere to the 2 minutes so that we give as many senators opportunity. Maximum 2 minutes, and we begin with the Senator Sigei. This session will end at 7:50, as I had said earlier. Yeah, it's about 20 minutes. Senator Sigei, when you're done, please approach the bench.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I'm troubled with three things. I'll ask three clarifications, and this one is to the Counsel for the Governor, alias Mutuma. Number one, I want to get your response, in particular to the allegation with regards to a gentleman by the name Nefath, whose employment history dates back to 2016, employed at Job Group H. In 2023, acted in Job Group R, and the document that we've been given appearing at page 384 of the County Assembly's bundle, from which to get your responses, Counsel. Two, witness number 3, I can't recall the name, is called Mr. Munene Nganata, sorry. At paragraph 13 of his affidavit, he made reference to employees whose position at the time of employment was cleaners, and a document which has been submitted as evidence before the House, appearing at page 407 and 374. The responses that will clear my mind will probably be that coming from you, because what Mr. Nganata responded to as he was asked is not clear to me. And lastly, your position with regards to a number of videos which entertained this House on oathing. On the one hand, there was an element of some
Senator Sotsi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to direct this clarification to the Counsel for the County Assembly. Mr. Speaker, there seems to be some disparities in the document submitted by the County Assembly in relation to the invitation letter to China. The document submitted by the County Assembly on page 60 differs in content from the document submitted by the Governor on page 425 of the bigger document of evidence. But when you look at the two documents keenly, Mr. Speaker, the document for the County Assembly does not refer to the other assignments the county government went to do in China. That is housing and agriculture. But another document attached on page 68 of the County Assembly bundle confirms that actually housing and agriculture was one of the functions. So my concern, which I want clarification from the council for the County Assembly, is to explain the deviation in the two letters, the letter by the governor and the letter by the County Assembly, and explain to this House which letter is the correct letter to go with.
Council for the Governor, proceed to respond to the question as asked by Senator Sigei, and then the Council for the County Assembly, you will respond to the question raised by Senator Osotsi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. In answer to the question posed by Senator Sigei, my understanding of job grouping is that the position to which a person is appointed then dictates the job group they will fall to. So one would rise from one job group based on the new position that they have been given. Indeed, my understanding is that we've had chief officers appointed as CCMs, therefore necessitating the change of their job groups. That would be my simple answer to that question. I'll invite my friend, Mr. Mutembei, to answer the other question on the cleaners. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I wish to respond to the question from Senator Sigei. The question was asking why some cleaners appear to be categorized as senior support staff in the pay slips that have been produced in the bundle of documents by the County Assembly. Although the witness, notwithstanding the fact that the witness confirmed that the pay slips cannot be authenticated, it is the position that cleaners are actually support staff. And cleaners would be categorized as senior support staff based on their salary. If you look at the pay slip that has been produced, the one that appears as senior support staff is earning a basic salary of 18,000, and that is in tandem with the role of a senior support staff. That would be the simple answer. Thank you.
Council for County Assembly.
Mr. Speaker, the question was as to discrepancies between the letter at page 425 of the Governor's bundle and the letter at page 60 of the Assembly's bundle. It is indeed true, Mr. Speaker, that there are discrepancies, and that's why we have kept telling you the Governor has forged the document she has presented to you, and here's why. If you check the document at page 60 of the Assembly's bundle, you will note, Mr. Speaker, it bears the stamp of the county government, received by the county government on 25th of April. The one the Governor has produced is not stamped by our own county government. That's one indication of what we call forging of documents. And if there is any other doubt, Mr. Speaker, when you go to page 68 of our BADU, the county secretary, when they wrote to the ministry, they attached the letter inviting them to China. And the letter the county secretary attached is the version that the county assembly has produced, and it is attached at page 69 of our BADU with the same stamp. And it is our submission, therefore, the governor must have forged this document, as we have been saying all along, at page 425 of our BADU.
Senator Newton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question goes to the governor. In relation to Okolea, so Governor, who funds Okolea? And if you may, because it's in public domain, that the activities of Okolea were once banned by the Minister or CS for Interior, why, in your view, was it banned? Number two, Mr. Speaker, the image that has been portrayed of the relationship between the governor and the county assembly members has been very rosy, especially after the past impeachment proceedings. Governor, where and why did the reins start beating you, as in the relationship between you and the members of the county assembly? Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Those are my questions.
Governor, proceed to respond.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Okolea program, as I said before, has been there for the last 12 years. It is purely funded by Baite Family Fellowship, where I'm the bishop. All the offerings that we get from the church, the pastors and the members of the church take all the money, buy blankets, mattresses. I also donate 50% of my salary towards the Okolea program. It is purely a program by the church and my family, funded by the donations made in our church, and my 50% contribution from my salary. The issue of banning the Okolea, it is just the other day when we had one at Igembe, where my deputy governor incited the youth, as you saw in the video, slaughtered the cow that was supposed to be donated to a poor woman. There was some chaos. And then from that event is where now the CS came and said, because of the unrest in Meru, he has to ban the Okolea until there is rest in Meru. It was not banned permanently. I think for his own wisdom, he decided and acted so that you get peace and continue as a church. It is purely a church program. From the day I left this Senate during the first impeachment, we've been working well with the county assembly members until the last 2 months, when people, external forces, tried or are trying to interfere with the leadership just because of 2027 politics. That is the whole truth. And as I stand here, I know that the members of county assembly have no issues with the governor, apart from the external forces forcing them to cause a lot of confusion in Meru for those who have decided that they will run for the position of county governor to have space and have a route via the deputy governor or via making it that Meru doesn't work. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Hamida.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Madam Governor, I was just wondering, in the event that the Senate finds you that none of the allegations for the second time made against you have been substantiated, I'm just wondering, what happens to the Meru County? How do you plan to work with the Deputy Governor who has been alleged, and of course you have stated and accused him of having planning to impeach you and also plotted all the current activities and impeachment? So how do you plan to work with them? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The first action, I believe prayer works. I will continue to pray for those that are a lot of appetite to become the governor. God to lower the appetite so that we have time to work with the people of Meru. Number two, the time we left this place again, it took us just a month for us to come together and start working. It is very possible, it is very doable that we can still mend all the differences and put Meru first rather than our own interest. As a woman of God, I will forgive everyone.
Thank you, Senator Karen Nyamu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wish to seek clarification from Madam Governor regarding allegations raised by the Council for the County Assembly regarding of the appointment of the chief officers. Section 42(2) of the County Government Act states clearly that the office of the chief officer shall be an office in the county public service, and at the same time, Section 44(3)(a) of the same Act indicates that the county secretary shall be head of that county public service. In consideration of these two provisions, Madam Governor, do you feel that your mandate in regard to the operations of the chief officer goes only up to nominating and appointing the chief officers on approval by the County Assembly? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As much as I would not like to interfere within your office, and I believe that's why there is a structure in the government and in all governments. The County Public Service Board has its own mandate. The County Secretary of Meru has his own mandate provided by the law, and I think it's prudent enough for them to act according to the law.
Senator Oburu.
Mr. Speaker, I withdrew my question because it is exactly the same as the one Honorable Amida had asked about the reconciliation between the governor and her deputy. If she was saved, would she be able to reconcile with her deputy?
Senator Mbugua.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Madam Governor, having listened to you for 2 days and the other party, and having watched many videos, I would invite you as a CEO of the county to Section 192 of the Supreme Laws of the Land, and I read it for you. Article 192.1. The President may suspend a county government, A, in an emergency arising out of internal conflict or war. As a CEO of Meru County, do you think it has reached there, or there is a chance of reconciliation? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think we have not reached there. By doing that, we have killed the dreams of young men that are MCs today. We still have chance to unite and work together.
Now, honorable senators, that wraps up as far as this witness is concerned. Honorable senators, unless I gazette tomorrow as a sitting day, we will certainly overrun the runway. Looking at the time allocated here, if you lose just a minute, I will have to gazette tomorrow to be a date for us to sit to continue hearing this matter. It's about the time factor. We only have up to midnight. So it is about the time factor here. I give you an extra 10 minutes, and we've messed it up. So for those that's why I was giving opportunity to those senators who've not spoken a word since we started, okay? So at this juncture, you can have a seat, His High Excellency, Governor Kawira.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Now, we are moving to a different session where we're going to have the closing remarks, closing statements from both sides. Now, each party will be given 1 hour to make their closing statement. You don't have to utilize the whole of that 1 hour. The maximum is 1 hour. If you can do less than that, the better, so that we can meet the midnight deadline. So, Council for the County Assembly of Meru, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. As communicated yesterday in my opening, this is the third time we have an impeachment motion against the governor of Meru. And as I kept telling you, all through and through, from the time of the first impeachment motion to today, the governor's position has been that the problem is everybody else. To use our own words, she is the foremost peacemaker in Meru, even though I recall the Honorable Edwin Sifuna asking her last year, how do we reconcile the aggressive governor we see in the videos with the meek, humble, vulnerable governor